Station to Uganda, where Uganda's parliament has held a special sitting to pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II, who died in Scotland last week. The motion was moved by the Prime Minister and went on for 2 hours. The MPs, who were each given 2 minutes to speak, said that Her Majesty had presided over the Commonwealth with distinction and played an important and unifying role.
But many young people in Uganda have not joined paying tributes to the Queen, as some feel that the British monarchy has not taken full accountability for the legacy of colonialism. And of course, this obviously is not a conversation in just Uganda. This is a conversation in many parts of Africa and many parts of the world. And since the Queen's passing, there have been back and forth, arguments with regards the British monarchy and, of course, the role that they have played, in Africa. There's people who believe that they are, to a large extent responsible for the damage, that they can see in many African countries and the failure of these African countries to grow. And then there's also the school of, those who believe that these people granted independence to different African countries more than 60, 50, 100 years ago. They've had enough time to grow. So it's, different sides of the table and different sides of the argument. But of course, governments will always be governments. I think it's only the EFF in South Africa that came out openly to say that they are not in support. They are not paying any condolences, in that manner, to the late Queen of England.
I mean, the late Queen of England has had celebration in different forms. Her family has received a lot of well wishes and condolence wishes. Sport matches didn't hold because of her.
Yeah.
Sport matches have been postponed. We've seen that in some countries they've had minutes of silence. Condolence registers have been signed. Very recently we talked about, I think it was in Kenya, where the condolence register was signed. We've seen heads of state that have either gone there personally or sent their representatives to go there and be with the royal family at this time. But even as we've seen this massive outpouring of love, we've seen a massive outpouring of criticism as well.
Yeah.
Many people who believe that the royal family did not take responsibility for the role it played in colonialism. We've also seen conversations about the fact, people are asking, well, 2022, what is the role of the monarchy? Like, why do we still have a monarchy in 2022? These are some of the conversations that her person has spearheaded. Maybe we probably didn't foresee that it was going to generate this kind of reaction. And one of the most notorious ones would be the tweet by Professor Ujwanya that sparked a worldwide conversation, sparked a response from Jeff Bezos, where she did speak in some very strong terms about the passing of the Queen, and there have been several reactions. She's gotten death threats as a result of this, and it's just been really, really mixed reactions.
Yeah, but like I said, with response to Professor Ujwanya, there's people who said worse. The Irish, the videos of people in Ireland singing, celebrating. There's comments from Indians, a comment from Australians. The people who said worse. I think Ujwanya was just
the poster child.
Yeah, maybe at that time. And you really cannot take away people's feelings or people's reactions from the British monarchy and the West. I would always say this. I can imagine some U.S. president passes tomorrow, and then you expect that people in Iraq, or people in Syria, or people in any of these Middle Eastern countries to put out the same tributes. They will absolutely not, because they have their feelings towards the West, and the blame that they feel the West deserves for what has gone on in their countries in the last couple of decades. And so it's expected. It's of course new Kenyan President William Ruto, of course, I believe put out statements. I think he also will be signing a register rather, on behalf of Kenya. African leaders will do what they are expected to do, but you cannot take away the feelings of the people themselves towards the monarchy.